Matt here, and welcome to this brand new episode of my fragrance obsession. In this episode, we are going to dwell into a company known as Laroche. In fact, their first fragrance came out in the 1970s, known as Drakkar. But the one fragrance that is very popular to this company is Drakkar Noir, which came out in 1982. But the one fragrance that we are going to be looking at came out in 1993, and this is unfortunately a discontinued scent. Horizon. Yes, this fragrance came out in 1993, the year I was born. Yes, this is a great fragrance. I purchased this on eBay. I think I paid about £14 for this. I got it the other day. And I don't know if this is an original 1993 bottle. It could be a later 90s fragrance, because this scent was discontinued in 1998, so it hasn't actually been out for a long time. So I don't know if it's a 1998 bottle or a 1997, 96, 95, 94, or a 1993 fragrance. I don't know. But what's interesting is the details on the back here. It's got down here, copyright Parfums, Guy Laroche, Paris, 1993. I'd show you guys, but the camera wouldn't focus, sadly. But yeah, that's what it says. It's really interesting stuff. So yeah, we get Horizon Pour Homme, Eau de Toilette, Natural Spray, Guy Laroche Paris underneath there, and we just get a ton of the information here on the back. Now this scent has always been on my wish list. I've wanted this fragrance for a very long time, so the day I got it I felt very happy. This is a 30ml bottle. It comes in 3 sizes. You can get the 30ml, 50ml or the 100ml. And I didn't mention this before, just because it's discontinued doesn't mean you cannot find it anymore. You can still find it widely available on eBay, so just check out eBay and you'll find a bottle for a quite reasonable price. So £14 for this, you can't go wrong. It is a 30ml, so it's not the biggest bottle in the world, but you know, it's not bad. Considering it is an old fragrance, so it is a vintage. You know, just to know that you have that fragrance is a real honor, really. So yeah, so let's get straight into this. The perfumer is Alain Astori. I've never actually heard of him, if I'm honest with you, but he has created a few fragrances which I do recognize. 3 of those fragrances are Deep Red by Hugo Boss, which is a fragrance for women that came out in 2001. Sun Men by Jill Sander, which came out in 2002. And he's also created Echo by Davidoff, which came out in 2003. And this is actually the first fragrance he's ever made. And here is the bottle. Wait till you see this bottle. Beautiful. Absolutely gorgeous bottle. Now, the atomizer doesn't actually look the best, and I think it's just because it's a 30ml, you know, the 30ml's never really had the best atomizers. But I have seen other bottle sizes for this, and they do look better, so it doesn't really bother me that much anyway. But yeah, so we do get this beautiful blue colour on the glass. We also get this really nice pattern effect. I don't quite understand what it's meant to be, or what it's meant to impose, but it's a beautiful pattern nevertheless. We get more on the back there, but not as much. It gets a little bit smoother here. The cap has the same pattern, but it is plastic. And of course the atomizer's there. So it is a very nice bottle. I don't know what it's meant to invoke. I think maybe like a under the water sort of theme. It kind of looks like a bottom of a seabed, like seaweed and stuff, but I don't know. The juice color itself, if I shine it in the light, it's coming up green, so I'm guessing it's like a dark yellow color, like a traditional sort of perfume color, because the glass itself is like I said, it's like a marine blue, but then it shines green through the bottle, so that's what I think. But it looks really nice when you do it like that. It just, you know, it's a really pretty thing to look at. So yes, Horizon by Guy Laroche, that's what the bottle looks like. And in terms of what's on the bottom here, we get Horizon Eau de Toilette, Natural Spray, 1 fluid ounce, 30ml, Guy Laroche, yeah, distribution by Parfums Guy Laroche. Yeah, I don't know if the new version of Drakkar Noir is still made by Guy Laroche. I don't know if it's made by another company or not, but yeah. So this is definitely a vintage. So let's get into this fragrance. Now, in terms of the notes for this fragrance, in the top, we get grapefruit, mandarin, mint, and marine elements. In the middle, we get fennel, which is in fact an aromatic yellow-flowered European plant from the parsley family. And we also get thyme and black pepper. And in the we get sandalwood, patchouli, and oak moss, making this fragrance an aromatic woody. So, let's have a look. Spray is actually very good for this. It's when you spray it like just a touch, it is going to go right down, so it is going to give you like a decent amount of juice. But yeah, let's get straight into this. Now, okay, here we go. So, in terms of the top, very, very unique. Quite soapy with that grapefruit and mandarin overtoned by a sort of sweet mint. Kind of resembles like a watery spearmint with that kind of refreshing ocean-like note underneath. Kind of like a sea salt or a cologne, which of course is featured in Davidoff Cool Water and New West by Aramis, which of course is a sort of old ingredient in perfumery which is supposed to remind you of the sea. And what's strange is I also get this sort of strange tea type note, which I'm guessing it comes from that sort of marine note. But yeah, very, very unique. But overall, a great opening. Very intriguing and just overall very unique. I actually really like this. I remember the first time smelling it, I was like, wow, this smells great. Very, very nice. Now, before I go any further with the notes breakdown, it reminds me of this fragrance. And it's Wings for Men by Giorgio Beverly Hills. It doesn't smell exactly the same, but it has a similar vibe. This one has a much more of a kind of eucalyptus freshness to it. This one is minty. This one is more minty and it just has more of a masculine feel to it. This one is similar but very different. I would say this one is probably a little bit more natural, but both different fragrances. I really like this one, but this one I think I probably prefer. Now, in terms of the middle for Horizon, after about an hour of it being on your skin, the fragrance loses its sort of aquatic accord from the marine elements, and it turns into this sweet, citrusy floral scent with a lot of thyme and this sort of sharp, spicy background. I'm guessing that's coming from the black pepper, but I don't know what fennel is supposed to smell like, so I can't really dwell too much into that. I don't know what it's meant to smell like whatsoever, so forgive me on that. But what's also very unique about this fragrance is I get a ton of this side. It's kind of like a lavender note, and I know lavender isn't actually listed in the fragrance, but I get lavender. Like, I get a lot of it, and it smells absolutely wonderful. Really, really nice. I mean, I'm not a big lavender lover, but very, very nice. That tea note's also there as well. I don't know. I'm getting a lot of different smells out of this. I mean, I don't know if it's just because it's an old fragrance or not, but it's what I get. It's so strange. And in terms of the base, we get a ton of oak moss, which sort of resembles ambergris. If you guys have ever smelled ambergris, it's a sort of earthy smell. It's actually whale vomit, in case you guys don't know. I mean, a lot of people know what it is, so you're probably thinking, I know what it is, don't worry. Yes, it kind of smells like ambergris. It's probably that marine accord coming back, because it does come back in the dry down ever so slightly, but it creates an ambergris note, which smells very sweet. But overall, the marine note isn't strong. It does come back a little bit. It plays a little bit of a part in the dry down, but it's really, really nice. And I guess with the marine note and the oak moss, it creates that ambergris sort of vibe. It just smells very sea-like, like kind of salty at the same time. But I also get a tiny touch of patchouli and just the perfect amount of sandalwood, making it a lovely woody base. It's just perfect, honestly. It's a perfect dry down. But overall, perfect fragrance. I absolutely love this fragrance. Probably my favorite part of the whole scent is probably the opening, because I just love that sort of citrusy vibe that it gives off with that nice touch of mint underneath, which kind of reminds me again of a spearmint, but that's what I get. It's just a very nice citrusy opening with, but not like an acidic citrus. It's kind of soapy with that spearmint underneath. Very unique. That's all I can say about it. Just a great fragrance. If you can get your hands on this fragrance, I would recommend it. But you have to be into your sort of older fragrances if you really want to smell this out. So if you're into the 80s and you're into the 90s for fragrances, this is great, because it's sort of like half 1980s influenced and half 90s influenced, because it's got that oak moss, which of course oak moss played a big part in a lot of 1980s powerhouse fragrances. And of course it has that floral soapiness which a lot of 90s floral fragrances had. So it plays a big part. But overall, I find that Horizon is a very well crafted scent. It's also quite clever at the same time, because it features like a green fougere-like quality to it, along with this fruity floral marine vibe at the same time. So together, it does create a very unique style. So I guess you can kind of say it has like two types of genres in it. Even though it's an aromatic woody, I would probably call this maybe like an aromatic woody fougere aquatic. Something really complicated like that, but literally that's what I would say it is. But a great fragrance. If you can find this bottle and you can find this fragrance, get your nose on it, see what you think. You might actually really enjoy it. So thank you so much for watching my fragrance obsession. I just want to say a big thank you. And thank you so much, guys, for all the comments you guys have left on the FragranceMatt story, which was my last video. I just want to say a big thank you to each and every one of you. And yeah, so keep smelling good, everyone. Hope you're all having a wonderful day, evening, morning, depending on where you are in the world. Keep smelling good. And bye-bye for now.